Well, ding, ding, ding. It's the Golden Boy. What makes me the Golden Boy? Well, I am en route to Golden, BC to live the van life. I'm going to drink some beer, eat some pizza, and play the greatest game on this earth. And with that being said, I want you to come experience Golden with me. So let's go. So we are out at the Rodgers Pass Discovery Center. The van is handling great. It hasn't been a huge drive, but we got a lot more ways to go. But we are going to go discover. I'm not really sure what's here. I might be able to buy a Parks Pass, which will help me because I am going into the national parks area of the Rockies, where everywhere's a national park, and I'm probably going to have to pay. I will have to pay. So with that being said, I'm going to head inside and see what there is to see. First things first, Rodgers Pass is absolutely beautiful. Cutting through Glacier National Park, not only is Rodgers Pass beautiful, it's also an integral part of Canada's railway system, highway system, and Canada's history as a whole. Opened in 1886 and named after A.B. Rodgers, this pass allowed the railway to pass through to the Rockies and forever connect Canada as one. At the Discovery Center here, there's monuments depicting all this history, and as well there's these cannons here, which I'm not exactly sure of the connection, but I don't think there's ever a bad time to honor our military in silence. Well, that was kind of fun. At this point, I'm headed inside, past the beautiful garden, the firewood stash, and into the Discovery Center. I buy my National Parks Pass, which I do get good use out of on this trip, so like and subscribe and follow along to see some more of that. And inside, there's quite a few displays that were worth looking at, very educational. It talked about some of the history, the railway, and the wildlife in the area. If I was more interested in learning, I would have spent longer here. But I'm not interested in learning. I was more interested in doing. So I packed up and I headed out to get on the road. Well, that was a pretty interesting little discovery center. I picked up a Yoho visitor guide because that's where I'm headed next after Golden. So with that being said, we're going to hit the road. We're going to go further down here and see what we can see. The door's locked. So I'm back on the road and in search of a hike to do for the day. I am, however, going to enjoy absolute every minute of this drive because, like I said, it is absolutely beautiful and historic. So the drive itself is worth the trip.
In 200 meters, your destination will be on the left.
Okay, we just parked. We're headed to the Bear Crek Falls, I think. It's a little short hike. I don't know that much about it, but yeah, we've been driving for a little bit, so we might as well get out and walk. Well, down at the creek level, you can see some big old washouts. The one this creek is probably absolutely raging. So with that being said, I feel like I'm getting pretty damn close to these falls. Pretty cool. Nice staircase. The old stairway to heaven.
This section of trail is a little muddy, a little slippery, but it's all worth it in the end. All pretty sweet. Just gonna enjoy it for a few minutes, then I head up to the van, and I'll meet you there, have a little snack, and then we'll get it motoring again. Okay, I got some nice cheese and crackers cut up. This is the go-to snack on the go. Very simple, obviously. And with that being said, I'm about to eat this. I'm sitting in the park. It was a nice hike. Park is kind of dull, but that's fine. I'm just gonna eat and get back on a road to our destination of Golden. I believe I just entered a new time zone. I'm now an hour ahead as I was a moment ago.
And with that time zone change, I begin to feel like I'm actually far away from home. I call Golden, BC, the gateway to the Rockies. And as somebody that lives on the west coast of BC, the Rockies always seem so far away.
We're in Golden now. So I'm headed down to a little gravel parking area that I can see on my map. It's where I would like to camp for the night, but I'm not 100% sure if I can, but I'm gonna go explore it now. At worst case, I'll probably just park there and ride my bike, but anyways, it's like right alongside the river. So here's to hoping. So it does say no overnight parking. So that being said, I think I'm gonna head down closer to town and take the bike, and then I'll figure out what I'm doing as I'm going. And I'm gonna explore. Wouldn't mind getting some food or a drink, or both. But we'll have to see. I'm gonna go park the van somewhere, and then I'll pick you up then. So we are parked down by the river, and we are about to hop on the bike. And just down the street, there looks like a brewery, so I think I'm gonna start there. Yeah, it'll be the first drink of this trip. So yeah, I'll head to the brewery, grab a beer, and then we'll pedal on, see what we can see.
Literally right down the street from where I parked my van was Whitetooth Brewing, which was a nice brewery. I'm not that big of a drinker. I'm more of a devil's lettuce kind of guy. But with that being said, every now and again, I'll go on a sunny patio and tip one back for the camera.
So I grabbed the Belgian wheat beer. That's pretty good for the first drink of the trip. So I just went back to the van. I realized I didn't have a helmet, and since I've had a beer, I should have a helmet. I grabbed my headphone so I can listen to directions and podcasts, trying to catch up on news and life since I've been gone. But that being said, I'm gonna head over here. We're gonna go to the Kicking Horse pedestrian bridge. I think it should be pretty sweet. I think there's gonna be some nice smooth trails around. So with that being said, let's go.
Golden has a very nice collection of riverside trails to explore. Sitting at the confluence of two rivers, the Columbia River and the Kicking Horse River, it gives you endless options of what to explore. But the crown jewel of their trail system is the Kicking Horse pedestrian bridge. This bridge is 150 feet long, and it is the longest freestanding covered timber frame bridge in Canada. And obviously, it spans over the Kicking Horse River, which I am riding alongside right now.
Well, we got to the end of the trail here, so I think I'm gonna take a break here, have a little celebration down by the river, and I think after that I'm gonna head up all the way to the other end of this trail, further than where I parked. There's something called Confluence Park, which is a confluence of two rivers, which if you've been paying attention to this channel, I like the confluence of rivers. So I'll head over there after, but yeah, have a quick little celebration. And one more thing I want to point out while I'm here is this rock. All the layers in it are super interesting. It's just a very interesting place. Like, I'm up in the Rockies here. This is the BC side of the Rockies in a totally new time zone. And everything just looks different. Like, you know, it's just the way the mountains were formed. All the rocks so different from where I'm from. But yeah, with that being said, have a little celebration and head to the confluence of some rivers.
Well, I do appreciate my confidence here, but I absolutely did not ride to Confluence Park. I got totally distracted on my ride, and I never made it that far. Sometimes, after a session like this, that's the thing that can happen. You forget what you're doing while you're doing it. But with that being said, I did get back on my bike. I found something to do tonight, and then I also found somewhere to stay for the night.
Well, that worked out pretty good. I rode my bike as far as I was gonna ride it, and on the way, I found this sweet little gravel parking spot. There's no signs that say no overnight parking or anything like that, so that's the plan. I'm gonna be camping here, parking here, I should say, overnight. So that's pretty cool. I think I'm gonna work my way, actually, I should say, over there, got a cool looking building and some big old mountains in the distance. So anyways, I'm thoroughly happy with where I have found. So I think I'm gonna ride back, find a spot alongside the river. Might even be able to get to a gravel bar in the middle, have another celebration, and then go look for some food. So that's the plan. Quick celebration and some food. So I kind of want to get out to that median there, chill. But honestly, these rocks look kind of not very inviting. And I would have to hop over the stream there, which is probably farther there, shorter there, shallower there. But none of them look like that good of options. I feel like they're trying to keep us off the river, probably for a reason, because they're mean. But with that being said, I am just gonna go move on, and I'll go look for something to eat. Sounds good to me. Well, that was a very successful walk. I found a nice pizza place where I got dinner, and I found a bowling alley where I am going bowling later. That's what I'm gonna do, but what I'm doing now is I'm about to eat my pizza. But I decided to come down by the river on this gravel bar. I did not want to unpack a seat from the van, a chair I should say, so I'm just gonna sit right on the gravel bar. I'm just gonna sit and admire my view, eat some pizza, and get ready to go bowling. First things first, I wanted a red tomato pie. Red tomato pies. And I got the New Yorker. It looks good. That's some good pizza.
As I sit here and eat this pizza, which is the best meal I've had in a couple weeks, I slowly start to realize that I never went to the confluence of the rivers that I promised earlier. So with that being said, I go put the rest of my pizza in the van to save for after bowling, and then I head on a little adventure to go see the confluence and to kill some time before I do go bowling.
So that's the airport. I saw a huge plane take off. Looked like a firefighting plane of some sort. Well, that being said, we're done with pizza, and now we're going over to Confluence Park because I forgot that this is where I was trying to ride to earlier. I got too excited where I found my spot to sleep, and yeah, I totally forgot about it. But we're here now, and we're gonna go check it out. But one more thing I want to point out before we go down there is I got these spiky things on my shoes. I don't know, well, you're gonna see them. But these little spiky seeds or whatever off of a plant, and now they're all in like my shoes and socks. So I don't know, maybe I should have sat on the beach, or I guess I got too close to some plants, so I had to pick some out of the tongue where they were poking into my foot. But with that being said, enough about my little pokey seeds. Let's go see the confluence of this river.
As we head down to the river, I just want to acknowledge the fact that I had built up this confluence in my own mind, and I thought it was going to be absolutely spectacular. And maybe I was spoiled from the Clearwater, North Thompson River confluence I had seen earlier in this trip, but I thought it was going to be spectacular. It ended up just being okay. But with that being said, I did find a way to enjoy myself, and just as I started to think that I was high, I found something even higher.
That's funny, I was just taking a little shot, like panorama view or something, and I seen a couple parachuters coming down. I seen a guy further out the distance too. That's yeah, that's pretty cool actually. With the confluence of a couple rivers, having a little celebration, and just some parachuters coming down in the distance.
But enough with that, let's go bowling. First, I want to acknowledge that the biggest reason I'm here is because the outside mural, it was super flashy and caught my attention when I was riding my bike. I could not go bowling. And as I moved to the inside, the vibes stayed just as high. This place definitely wasn't the biggest, but it had a nice vibe to it. First of all, they were pumping some sweet beats, and I love sweet beats. But the bowling alley itself was nice, the shoes were nice, everything about this was nice. I highly recommend bowling in Golden. And as far as my bowling skills are concerned, I ain't bad. You could say I know my way around a lane. Fun fact, I actually won a bowling league dressed as Santa a few years ago, but that was 10 pin. This is 5 pin. It took me a while to shake the rust off, but by the time I rolled game number 3, I did bowl a 201, which, let's be real, is better than you can do. So with that being said, I'm out of here, and I'm about to call it a night.
Well, I'll say bowling was awesome. Today was awesome. That was actually a really good day. All these other days I've just been out doing stuff like in the woods, and that was the first time I was doing stuff like vacationing, you know? Anyways, with that being said, I'm here. I'm parked for the night in my sweet little gravel parking spot that I have to myself so far. I wouldn't be surprised if someone else rolled in here to camp for the night, but that being said, I'll just say that's it. That's the end of the night. So I guess I'll say good night, and I'll see you in the morning.
Actually won't, because that's it. That's the end of this episode. The Golden Boy living his absolute best van life in Golden, BC. Peace.